Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Attack on Titan. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 20 of season 3 of Attack on Titan. This is going to be a long one. Buckle in. I went nuts after the last one. I wrote some notes. So that doesn't even include my notes from the episode before. I've got things to say. So first of all, as I'm writing these notes down, I'm kind of writing down the notes about Marley and the Eldians as though they are fact, as though Grisha is telling us exact facts. And here's the thing. He didn't know how to translate what he was seeing. He was like, it's obvious. I'm like, you can't just scream it's obvious and me go, oh yeah, obviously. Yeah. The pictures, they're really pretty. So I can't really take Grisha 100% at his word. I don't know what's happening with Zeke and I almost said Bertold. Not anymore. And Reiner. And who sent them? Was it the people from Marley to get not only the founding Titan, and if they got the founding Titan, would the people that were in Marley be free to go? Or they're going to do that and then still control all the Titans and everybody that is in the internment, all the Eldians. The king did not want to fight. So that's the king's will. That is part of the Titan ability from the royal is that you have the power to control the Titans, but not to fight or to turn them away or whatever. It's almost like there should be no conflict. And granted, the Titans are their own blood. They're also Eldians. So it's almost causing a genocide to your own people to fight if you're killing all the Titans that are coming up to the wall. So I don't really know. I mean, I know that there's fossil fuels and that Marley wants those fossil fuels. A couple things I don't understand is how they're controlling the 7 other Titans and how that advances their technology and can they produce a different type of power? The Titans themselves? Do they take the spinal fluid out of the people that have the other Titans and use it for other things? How does that advance technology? So that I quite don't understand. I don't really get that other than they've been able to advance. I also was thinking about the 9 Titans. And if they have 7, and if I'm doing this correctly, I don't even know if it's correct. I'm sure you guys will let me know, but the names, the Beast Titan, Colossal Titan, Armored Titan, Female Titan, Founding Titan, whatever Emir's Titan is, the Attack Titan, which I know is the next episode, which I'm assuming was Kruger, Grisha, and then Eren. And then, I think maybe the doggy, I think they called it a quadruped. I don't know. He seems more intelligent than the other ones. So I'm thinking that might be what it is. And then number 9, I said probably the coolest, but controlled by the worst person. Let's see. The Beast Titan, who's Zeke, monkey shape, can throw with accuracy and major strength, can control other Titans. Is he also a coordinate? Because Annie could also call the Titans with her scream, just as Eren can. But I don't think I ever heard the Beast Titan yell to get all the other Titans to do things. So I don't really know what his ability is when it comes to other Titans, but he can make other Titans, or he can command other Titans. Not sure. Female Titan, who's Annie, incredible fighter. Incredible fighter. I don't know if that's just Annie or if it's also her Titan, but fast, strong, athletic, hardening ability. So that was my other question is can you be injected with the spinal fluid of another founding or main Titan? If they took Aaron's spinal fluid and injected it into Armin, would he be a colossal armored attack titan and a coordinate? Okay, so there's that. The armor titan, strong, hard armor without having to make armor, so it's not crystal. That's just who he is. That's what he was born with. Bark. It looks like tree bark, but that's our boy Reiner. Can transfer consciousness to body to survive physical harm. I don't know if that's something that Titans all can do, or if it's just Reiner in particular, if it is just the fact that he is an armored Titan. So like, it's almost like a failsafe to keep him safe. You know what I mean? Colossal Titan, which twas Bertolt, now is our little boy Armin. Largest Titan, emits steam, powerful explosions. But wears out pretty quickly, but is probably the most dangerous, not only physically wise of like his size and what damage he can do with his body, but if he decides to explode, a nuke went off. Then I put Attack Titan, which I think was Kruger, Grisha, and now Aaron. Scream attacks Titans. Now has armor and the coordinate from Aaron. But I don't know, because Kruger looked exactly like Aaron, like slightly different. And then I think we did see what Grisha looked like. He did not look like Kruger or Aaron. He kind of had a mix of like the Beast Titan, which I guess makes sense. Wow, ain't that some shit how that just came to me? He kind of looked a little bit like the Beast Titan. And then, of course, God, I don't really remember. I should probably go back. I was like, and then he looked like Aaron. I don't know if he did. But he looked tough and he looked scary. Let's see. And then I have a mirror. I don't know what her Titan is called. But it's in like what Reiner and Bertolt's friend that was traveling with him, like what his ability was, but I put goblinish. And it seems like a biter or a ripper. Like the way she was running around the tower and everything just like made me think that like, I don't know, I think gremlin, right? And I'm not sure what else she could do. I put the Founding Titan is with royal blood, can control Titans, cannot go against the king's will and destroy the Titans, can erase memories of Eldians except for Ackerman bloodlines. And I don't know if that also goes for like people of Marley, if it's only Eldians. And I think the Ackermans are safe because they must be a mixed bloodline. Maybe that's a Marley and an Eldian mix. I don't know. It said, and I wrote that the coordinate can sometimes control Titans. So this was something that occurred to me because I was thinking about like, what was so special when Aaron like was able to control the Titans? And at the time it was like, okay, Mikasa's declaring her love. He's thinking about his mom. He's thinking about Hannes. He's thinking about outside the walls. Like maybe it's emotions that make it to where he can access that inside of him until they reveal Dina. And the fact that Dina was married to Grisha, is Zeke's mom, ate Aaron's mom, and then ate Hannes. Aaron had contact with her when the Titans like charged. Like, can you have contact with a royal bloodline and not be subjected to the king's will? Because, like, can he just, like, hold Historia's hand and just be like, eat, and, like, get the Titans to eat each other or something? Like, or make them break out of the walls? Like, I don't even know how you do that. I feel like you would have to have royal blood in order for that to happen. Like, that whole image of, like, the Titans linking arms was just insane. I mean, they could have been imprisoned or they could have put themselves there for that specific reason. And I don't know what type of Titans those are anyways, because the one that was like in the wall where the hole was, like that looked like one of like an Annie or like a Colossal. Probably a Colossal. Oh my God, are they all Colossal Titans? Shit. Because Bertolt was like just taller than the wall. Oh my God. Yeah, and then I brought up the quadruped, and then the ninth one being probably the worst. You know, all of a sudden Gross is back, and he's whatever. I don't think he's Eldian, so that doesn't matter. But Kruger killed Gross at the end, kicked him off the wall, let him get eaten by a Titan. The fact that I think it's Major Gross. I just wrote his name because I was like, gross. Perfect. The fact that he liked to watch them fight because peace was just too boring for him. Don't you find it interesting? Not really. Mm-mm. And that he killed Grisha's sister by having the dogs eat her, and that's just awful. So when Kruger cuts himself and says, pay attention, this is how you become a Titan, or this is, now I forget his exact words, but then he was destroying the ship. And so I think he wanted to get rid of any witnesses to, one, his transformation, and two, what happened there. And because he looks like Eren, the way Eren looks, I'm like, yep, that's our guy. And Grisha still had not received the injection. So I don't know if he's saving that one or what. I don't know, because I was like, is it the Rice family line, or is it the Fritz family line that is the actual heir to the throne, the actual royal? Is there a curse that's on the Rice family? So, when they get the Titan, they're subjected to the king's will for other reasons. They're not, really a true royal line, because I feel like Dina is, but maybe, I don't know, you can mix royal lines, too. So I don't really know. And we had a King Fritz that was sitting on the throne. Could be false. But with Dina, and then that moment with Eren and the coordinate thing, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm right about that. I assume so, because why would they make it one of those things that Dina Fritz, she's a royal. Dina Fritz married Grisha. Dina Fritz had a baby named Zeke, and then, ate Eren's mom, and then ate Hannes. Poor Carla. And that's the other thing, is Dina might have been drawn to Grisha, and maybe that's why she went to the house, is because she could sense Grisha somewhere. And that's why she came out of the forest and, found Eren, is because she could sense Grisha somewhere. Does Zeke even know about his mom? Does he know that he's royal? Because, I feel like if he really truly wanted... No, he couldn't right in that moment. I was going to say, if he really truly wanted to have the coordinate, then he would have eaten Eren, but he couldn't transform. I'll come back and save you. Maybe Zeke wants to get all 9 founding Titans together and take over and, avenge his people. Either way, Marley, if they're sending them there, and they want all of humanity dead on Paradise, that's because they're trying to commit a genocide for fossil fuels. Okay, I've been talking for almost 15 minutes. I really need to get into this episode. Xander, you're a saint for editing this down for me. Just hearing me blab on and on and on about my ideas. But I am so excited to get in these last 2 episodes. I think it's going to leave me on a cliffhanger, and I'm going to want to start season 4 damn near immediately. So hold out for that. It's coming. All right, guys, let's get into it. I was going to say, is he going to eat him? No.
He squeezed the soldiers' lives out as if he were juicing fruit. And then he cast the scraps into the sea.
Get rid of the evidence.
I suppose I ought to explain what the sea is.
Oh, yeah.
It's an enormous body of salt water that covers 70% of our world's surface.
I think Grisha can give a lot of facts about the world, but I don't know if he can give a lot of facts about the politics. I feel like that's where it gets a little mixed. Okay, we're gonna learn about him. Come on. Let me learn about Kruger.
Hold on. You said you were the owl?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, my name's Aaron Kruger. As you just observed, I have the power of one of the 9 Titans, which proves that I'm a subject of Ymir.
What about the blood tests?
Yeah.
With the help of a doctor, they were quite easy to pass. Doctors make good spies. In all honesty, you're a fine example of that.
Mm-hmm.
I was a bad husband, a worthless father, and an imbecilic man.
Ouch.
So explain to me, why am I the only one left standing as a human?
Good question. Pass it on.
Tell me why! Why did you save only me?
Oh.
Let go. You're just making your hands worse.
I'm grateful for your concern, but I didn't notice much before, when you were cutting off my fingers!
He had to play along. Oh.
What's wrong?
I've severed thousands of fingers from fellow subjects of Ymir. I've created countless Titans. From men, women, and children.
And children, damn.
I'm entrusting you with this last task. There's no one else I can trust to see it through.
He probably can't even live with it, so he's like, Grisha, take this from me.
You may wish you could take it back, but if not for what happened, you wouldn't hate Marley nearly enough to come this far.
So is that the reason why you chose me?
It's part of it.
Yeah, he's kind of radicalized.
The branch of the royal family that stayed behind started a revolution. It failed. Not only did they accomplish nothing, all of them were burnt alive.
Wow.
I was still young. I just peeked through the closet door and watched.
That's awful.
What exactly is it you're asking me to do?
I want you to make your way into the walls and take the founding Titan by force. After you've inherited my Titan, that is.
Yeah. Let him know how we do that.
You'll have to eat me alive as a Titan. That's also how you'll steal the founding Titan from the royal family.
But why don't you do it?
Anyone who inherits the power of one of the 9 will perish 13 years later.
Oh.
And that's how long it's been for me.
He said that was the rule. Called it the curse of Ymir.
So they're gonna die in 13 years?
So I have 13 years to live.
Yeah, damn.
I've only got 8 left. Not even.
No. You're wrong.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. Until we have it confirmed. Kruger could be just telling Grisha that, so Grisha would be like, oh, it's a mercy.
There was one successor who said there were paths. Paths that the naked eye can't observe.
I mean,
through which
bloodlines.
Titan flesh can move, along with memories and the will to act. These paths are countless, but they all meet at one coordinate.
Oh, God.
The founding Titan.
Yep.
There are those who believe that she touched the source of all life, and who am I to say they're wrong? The sole truth of this world I've found is that there is no truth.
I mean, it feels like being a
Any
Titan's
one
a
of us
curse.
can become a god or a devil.
Exactly.
Dinah's royal heritage was objectively real.
Then why'd you let them turn her?
That'd be because she had royal blood. I couldn't risk letting the Marleyans get her.
True.
She had to go before Zeke could tell Marley more. The enemy would have forced Dinah to bear their children for the rest of her miserable life. Would that have been better?
No, I'm glad that it went that well, kinda. Jesus. She ate Carla. She ate Hannes.
To be perfectly honest, I don't think I'm fit for the job.
I don't think
You're
you have a
going
choice,
to
Grisha.
do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. If I had realized that this was the price of freedom, I wouldn't have paid.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's just a moment of regret.
If you want to restore freedom and dignity to Eldia, then stand.
I just can't.
You're going to.
I brought this from your home. Look at it.
No, I can't.
It's the picture of him and Zeke and Dina.
Marley cut your balls off.
Ooh.
There's no point in trying to make me remember my old hatred. Everything is gone now. Except my sins.
Those are all you need.
Oh.
The main reason I chose you was because of that day. Because you went beyond the walls.
Because you dared to.
Each of the 9 Titans has a name to describe it. and that includes the one you're about to inherit from me. It has ever pushed forward, seeking freedom, and for freedom's sake, it fights. Therefore,
It's called the Attack Titan.
Show is. Okay, this is so interesting.
What's that all about?
Did he just say it randomly?
It's called the Attack Titan. That's what you just did, remember?
No?
Huh? Come on! He did! Am I the only one who saw him? Are you practicing ways to introduce him, or...?
Let it go, Hanji. He's 15 years old. We all go through a phase like this.
A phase where we mutter weird crap while posing?
Hanji,
Maybe?
I'll explain it to you later. It's not
Yeah.
right with
Huh?
him here.
Hanji is
Oh,
just
it's
so
that
highly
kind of
observant.
thing.
What the hell do you want?
Get out.
Yeah, let's go. You okay, Mikasa?
Did you lose some weight? That's odd. We had plenty to eat.
What's going on with her?
Let's go. Get dressed already.
What's up with
Wait,
Mikasa?
where are we going, Captain?
A state meeting. Her
Oh, great.
Majesty has come to Trost.
Oh, cool. Historia. Let's chat.
To my dear Historia,
Oh, yeah, I forgot
as
about
I
the
write
letter.
this, Rhina's standing at my side. He knows this is a love letter, but he's still sneaking peeks. Honestly, it's no wonder the creep's still single. I never would have imagined myself choosing those two over you. I'm going to die soon, but I'll die without regrets.
Why is she gonna die soon?
I do have one. It's that I never got to marry you.
Oh.
With love, Ymir.
Well, that's... Oh! She saw it.
Wait, when was that? Something wrong?
Okay, what was that? Why was it a mirror?
That idiot was with her, playing it off whenever she got embarrassed. I could never tell with her.
She's being truthful in the end. So are they going to have somebody else eat Ymir?
It's good to see that you're still acting like yourselves.
Well, that might just be that it hasn't sunk in for us yet.
Why don't we get the ball rolling?
Yeah, let's get the ball rolling. Let's start talking about it. Was that Sasha eating?
We humans living inside the walls have just learned how precarious our situation is. I'd be relieved if Titans were the only monsters we had for enemies.
Yup.
Unfortunately, the true nature of the foe we face is human. It's a whole civilization. One could say that it's us against the world.
It kind of is. If this is all true.
The king in the walls won't fight. Huh? If Eldia is driven to sin once again, it shall perish, as is meant to be. I've made a vow, renouncing war through the founding Titan. He said that to the royal family still on the continent, and then he closed his gates.
But what about the Titans he threatened to send out from the walls? It was the last warning he gave.
Yeah.
Those words were simply meant to deter an attack. They afforded him a brief time of peace. A king that can't protect his people is no king.
Valid.
You must find that coward and strip him of the founding Titan's power. That's the mission I'm entrusting to you.
And he did.
It's at least conditionally possible for Eren to wield that power too.
Yep.
That's right. If only for an instant. It felt like everything connected.
God, I was right.
Why only then?
Because it's Dina. Exactly.
I'm here as a descendant of the royal family. The last that stayed. My name's Dinah Fritz.
I said Dina.
no
It's
way.
Dinah. Oh, Eren, you can't just burst out.
If you have something to say, we would be glad to hear it.
Actually, it's nothing.
I mean,
Sorry for interrupting, Commander.
I don't know if they all need to know that anyway. Yeah. Hanji's gonna ask you about that later.
It would appear that Jaeger here is going through an awkward phase. He speaks out of turn and often makes a nuisance of himself.
Good job.
I haven't told those two about it yet either.
Yeah.
About how the Titan who killed my mother and Hannes was actually someone my dad had been married to.
And is from royal blood.
If someone with royal blood is turned into a Titan, then it might be possible for me to use the Founding Titan's powers while touching them.
I can't believe I just said that.
But if the military knew it was a possibility, what would they do to Historia?
Yep. Now, can you just keep your butt in the chair and stop yelling?
After you've entered the walls, you should start a family.
What are you talking about? I'm still married to Dinah.
Be it your wife, your child, or even a stranger. Love someone in those walls. Complete your mission and save Mikasa and Armin.
Mikasa? Armin? Who are they?
I don't know.
Was that like a future premonition? It's like destined to be Eren. He said the same thing to Eren. You have to save Mikasa and Armin. Oh my god. Well, shit, I was right. Very smart. I was like, no, Eren, tell everybody. You know what? That's why I would suck at that. Like, he's 100% right. If they learn that, like, he needs to be in contact with Historia, then, like, they could get rid of Historia. Even her knowing, and the idea that she knows that Ymir is going to die, which means that Ymir is probably going to be eaten and transfer the power. They only live for 13 years? Because that's how long Ymir lived? I don't want to say I don't believe it, but at the same time, I have no reason not to. And that would actually explain why... What is her name? Frida. That's why Frida had to eat her uncle. Is because it's for such a short period of time. Yeah, and they would probably force Historia to have more children. The same thing that they would have done to Dinah. I know I kept saying Dina. The same thing that they would have done to Dinah, they would probably do to Historia as well, is force her to have children and to continue the royal bloodline so they can continue having the Founding Titan in their possession. Well, I would say the key is, oh man, I don't want to say this, is to wipe out the entire royal bloodline. I mean, here's the thing, is if Historia wants to be with Ymir, she's not going to bear any children. Kind of solves that problem. Brand the broken. Okay. Eren Kruger. Man, for 13 years, he pretended to be one of the Marleyans, and he was sacrificing all of those Eldians. And I think he knows that he needs to give up his power. And that's why, one, is that he's probably, I don't want to say been grooming Grisha, but has like firmly kept his eye on Grisha in order to get to this point right now. So Grisha has to consume him and become the Attack Titan. Actually, you know what? It's kind of better that they misnamed this to Attack on Titan instead of Attack Titan, because I think immediately when we all saw Eren, we would have been like, Attack Titan. Well, I don't know. I don't know what this, I mean, that it might not even be, well, I don't know what the Japanese translates to, because I remember talking to my Japanese tour guide who was like 23 when we were in Japan, and I was saying like, oh, I just started watching Attack on Titan, and he seemed a little odd when I said it, and then he was just like, oh, that's my favorite. But like, he did have like a pause, like, what are you? But like, maybe he knows that like it got translated weird for us. I don't know if everything that Grisha is saying in those books is 100% truth. Definitely more truth than what the government was putting in books. But each has its own bias of, you know, raging war against each other. Like there's no person that is looking at it objectively. Even me, because I'm like, yeah, Marlians. I was like, well, I don't want the Marlians destroyed either. But, I mean, the Eldians have to be able to live and freely. I mean, is it possible to just like let all of the Titans perish? Like in 13 years, well, I guess Ymir was like, she was like in the dirt for like 60. So you'd have to eliminate every like free range Titan right now. Destroy all the Titan vials that have the spinal fluid in it. And then he said that a new child would be born with, so I guess there is no way to truly get rid of it. Poor Armin's like, so I'm only going to live for another 13 years. And Aaron's like, I've only got another 8. That's freaking cruel. Had we known that these were the terms and the conditions, we might not have signed on. I sound like Grisha, where it's just like, had I known any of this, I wouldn't have done anything. I don't know if that's true. He had that fight in him, and you see the same thing in Aaron. And the same thing in Aaron. Aaron Kruger and Aaron Yeager, that they both have that fight in them. It's so interesting that that's the one problem with me rewatching episodes and like writing stuff down and doing a little bit of homework where I sit there and like really think about things, is that I kind of got to the conclusion that it was in fact Dinah, and that was the reason why he was able to do it. Yeah, Hanji just being like, what, you named your Titan while posing? What's wrong with you? I was like, geez, Hanji, be nice. But, I'm sure just like when Aaron says random things, like when he stands up and says something and she's like looking at him like with a side eye and she's like, sorry, he's going through an awkward phase. And mentally she's like logging that one away to bring up later. I think Hanji knowing it is actually perfectly fine and okay, because I think she will look at it from a perspective of like, it's great that you didn't say anything. It's great that we know that. And then you have kept Historia safe. What's up with Mikasa losing weight? That scares me. Does she need to eat extra? Is she growing? Did she go through a growth spurt? I've never had one of those. I want to be a colossal Titan. I just want to be taller. Just a little bit. The fact that we don't have the books at our disposal, though, that they have them is kind of annoying. But, I'm betting Hanji was reading them. I'm betting that, like, Aaron was reading them. I bet that there's plenty of information that they were learning on their way back. I still don't know if Zeke is trying to do Marley's dirty work, or if he's also... I'd say if he's also trying to restore the Eldian Empire, but if he wants to wipe out humanity, then, like... He's killing all the Eldians. Like he's just as bad as Kruger. Unless he wants to have all 9 Titans back. Maybe that's his thing, is that he was, because like they were like, oh, well, we're gonna make Zeke become a warrior so then he can find the founding Titan and steal the power. That way we can bring back Gloria to the Eldian Empire. But like he might be thinking to himself as well, like, oh, my parents are dead because of this, and I want all 9 Titans to restore power to the entire world, to the Eldian Empire. Not necessarily to enslave the Marlians, but definitely to free the rest of the Eldians. But, like if he kills all of humanity, then like... This is a much different show than like the first couple episodes. Now, it is really interesting that they were talking about the king's will and how because the king didn't want to fight, that for some reason that stuck for as long as it did. And anyone with that bloodline can be controlled by the king's will. I wonder if that would have been the same thing with Dina. Like, I wonder if that'd be the same thing. Let's just say, I don't want this to happen, but like, let's just say that Zeke eats Aaron and he gets the founding Titan, but also because he is of royal bloodline, but he's a Fritz, and that's not the same king. It's the king that stayed behind. Like, would that matter at all? Like, would that not be part of the will? Like, the whole thing with Ymir and making the deal. I want to say the deal with the devil. Like, that's the way they drew it. But, like, she was gifted this power from the gods split her soul into 9 different titans. I mean, then they were showing like the connection, and it looked like, it's so funny because the Aurora Borealis has been very Aurora Borealis-y lately. And that's what it made me think of, is like the energy, the universe. Like how are we all connected other than, we're all part of the circle of life, that we're all part of the universe, that we all have energy, and that we're all made up of, molecules and atoms, and that we are alive. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Like I said, way different show than when we started. Not upset. And I love episodes where we learn things and a lot of things. The fact that Kruger said, you have to do it for Mikasa and Armin. I mean, no wonder, like, he was going to, like, the Ackermans' house is, like, to keep in touch with, like, the Ackermans because of Mikasa, and, like, him being friends with Armin, like, it's all seems very orchestrated. Like, I feel like Grisha would have to be like, Mikasa? Armin? Like, I've heard these names before. And then he said the same thing to Eren. I feel like Mikasa and Armin are really important then. It's not even just like, oh, like the future, I could foretell what was happening. So, there are going to be 2 people named Mikasa and Armin in the future. They're important in the future. Oh my God, who writes this shit? Who comes up with this? You're so much better than I am. Oh my God. But guys, if you want to watch full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon and up to 2 episodes early. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. How did you feel about this episode? Did you put together the Dinah thing? Because that was kind of on a whim of me, like, thinking, like, what was so important about that? And I kept thinking that it was Mikasa. I mean, Mikasa's definitely important now. Armin was waving his sword because he was trying to protect Jean. And then I was just like, is it like Mikasa's like declaration of love that did it? But Eren punched Dinah. And that's when he was able to control the Titans. Did you guys put that together? I feel like that was like obvious in hindsight, but when I like thought of it, I was just like, actually, I explained all of this to my husband, and he looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like I was just like, do you get it? Like, does it make any sense? And he's like, no, it doesn't make any sense, but you seem to like think it does. And you're very passionate about it. So you might be onto something. Like, I'm not kidding. I wrote it down. Like, you could see the reflection. Did Dina have an effect on Eren using the coordinate? Like, if he holds Historia's hand, could it be to command the Titans without being affected by the King's will? Like, that was at the bottom of my notes. So for sure. I'm losing my mind. I'm going to watch the next episode. You're going to have to wait for it. I thought I had another episode after this, or after this next one, but I don't know. 22 seems like the correct number, not 21. Unless this wasn't even episode. Did I say the wrong episode at the beginning? If I did, Xander, replace it with this. Hey guys, we're here. We're going to watch episode 21 of Attack on Titan, season 3. It won't make any sense until the end of the episode. All right. Bye.